Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I am Madden Game Man, and I am back with another reaction video. Today's video, we got these Madden 24 ratings are disrespectful. I'm not gonna lie to you. I've seen some Madden ratings, and I think they're pretty solid. Some of them I have a little bit of a problem with, like the last video that he showed. I had a little bit of a problem with the Michael Thomas one, and I can't remember off the top of my head who was it. They had him over somebody that I didn't think he should be over. We're gonna see what type of disrespect Madden is giving these players, man. Let's hop into his.
Bunch more Madden ratings, and some of these are pretty wild, so buckle up. We're going to go over all of them right now. So let's start out with the running backs. Always a very heavily debated position, even though nobody in the NFL seems to want to pay them anymore. Now, Nick Chubb's coming in at
That's
the
true.
top rated spot
But
at
I think
97,
the
which
reason
I
why they
think is
don't
right.
want to pay
I
them
think he's been
anymore
their
is
best
that
back in the past couple years.
the
Obviously, you got a few
injuries,
other guys that are in that
and
conversation, but Nick Chubb has
as you
been
get
kind of a
older,
model of
you
consistency.
start
He's
to
very good at
decline.
breaking
So
tackles, very high yards per
it's a
carry.
tough
Just a
one.
guy that really has not shown much weakness as a runner. Now, Christian McCaffrey is a guy we know is always in those top few spots. Even when he's had a lot of years with injury, they don't really seem to dock him as much as they do other guys. He's coming in at a 96 overall, and he still is the best dual threat in the league. Obviously,
Oh,
you got guys like
100%.
Eckler and Kamara that are also really
Eckler
good,
and
but
Kamara are
McCaffrey is
right
still
there
definitely
with
the
him,
best
but
dual threat back, and he was
my boy
really good
McCaffrey,
once
he
he went over
different.
to the Niners last year. It looked still like his old
I
self, so I don't
mean,
really have
once
much
he
of a
went to
problem with that.
49ers, man.
Josh Jacobs had his best year by far. He comes in at a 95. I saw some people kind of debating this, that they didn't like Derrick Henry being under Josh Jacobs. Derrick Henry's still one of the best in the league, if not the best. He can still be argued,
It's
I
the
think, as the
injury
best.
that
Obviously, he was
happened.
injured the year before, but he bounced back last year. So I don't have a huge problem with this top five. Saquon Barkley had a really big bounce back year as well. I do think 93 feels a little low, though. I think he should be like 94, 95, but I'm not
Yeah,
really
I
having
put him
a
at the
problem with the top
94
five
spot.
guys. Maybe the order in which you want to shuffle some of them around, we could say that. Then getting into the next group of guys, we got Austin Eckler at 89, Jonathan Taylor at 89. He kind of had a bit of a setback last year, whereas the year before he was, arguably the best in the league the year before. So we'll see if he bounces back. I think he'll be back in the 90s for sure. Then we have Aaron Jones and Tony Pollard at an 88. Tony Pollard getting some love, and Joe Mixon at an 87. So that's your top 10 guys. I do think
I'm
Joe
not.
Mixon's kind of a guy that I've always felt he's been a little underrated in the game, but let's
This is deodorant,
Yeah,
and
my boy Joe
this
Mixon, he's very underrated.
what's
But at the
the
same time,
difference? Deodorant works.
Let's jump over to the next
I
group
mean,
of
I'm not
guys. So
mad at
Kenneth
those.
Walker, who's also
Okay, let's see
87. So
about
really,
this.
him and Mixon are tied for the 10th spot. And he's a second-year guy. He was really good as a rookie. He was really close to winning Rookie of the Year. He was kind of right there with Garrett Wilson. Then we got Alvin Kamara at an 86, tied with Miles Sanders. And I'm a Saints fan, so I'm biased, but I feel like he's way too low. Now, granted, the last couple years, he hasn't had the numbers exactly how he
I'm not
did
gonna lie to you. I
prior
put him
years.
like
Again,
at
you got to look
85,
at the
and
situation.
Alvin
You've had
Kamara is my
bottom
boy.
QB play. I mean, you've had
But
Andy
I
Dalton, Trevor
just, I
Siemian,
don't know.
Jameis Winston for
He
a few
just been
games. Michael
declining for
Thomas has
me,
been
in
out
my
there, so the
opinion. I
options
could
have
be
not been
wrong.
good.
I
Chris
haven't looked at
Olave
his
was
stats, but
decent, but that
just
was the
from
only one
watching
he
him,
had
I
last
don't
year.
know. It just don't
Offensive
seem
line's
the
also been
same.
injured, so they're really, he's just not been in a good situation, but he still has looked explosive and still as good as he was in the past when he was able to, like, make stuff happen. Like, he didn't look like he was losing a step or anything. He was just the only thing that people were really keying in on for the most part. So I do think, he's definitely a guy that should be in the 90s. Maybe he has to kind of reprove it, so we'll see. Cordell Patterson,
I
another
think he
guy I
just
feel
has
like
to
since he
prove
was
it
going to the
better.
Falcons, he's been really solid. So I feel like he could be bumped up a little bit as well. Then you've got
I
Jamal
put I
Williams at
put Patterson at
85, which I think is about
86.
right. He had a lot of touchdowns last year. Was one of his best, maybe probably was his best year with the Lions. So that seems about right. He's not like a top 10 running back, but he's definitely a solid guy. Travis Etienne at an 84. Damian Pierce at an 83, which is, I think, the best offensive player, like weapon-wise, for the Texans. Then you've got Najee Harris at an 83. Zeke's not on here because he is a free agent, but he's also rated at 83. I saw that on Twitter, so some
Why is
people
Zeke
mad about that. They feel like
blocking?
Najee's kind of an underrated guy. Then you've got Brees
It is
Hall, who
blocking
is
for
an
Zeke, cause
82.
ain't no
Maybe
way in hell he
overrated
at
at
83.
82. I do think Brees Hall would be higher if he didn't get
His
hurt this
blocking
year.
got to
He
be
probably was going
one
to
of
be
the
rookie of the
best
year before
blocking.
he got hurt
He's the best
with some of
blocking
the
running back
games he was
in
on.
the
So
league.
I think he'll be like high 80s definitely later this year. Then you've got Javonte Williams at 82, another guy I think would be higher if he didn't get hurt. I definitely think he's going to be, another high 80s guy later this year. We got our first rookie, Bijan Robinson. I think he's probably going to be the highest rated rookie this year. We'll have to see when the QBs come out, but at an 81, usually the highest rated rookie is like an 81 or an 82, so he might be the highest rated rookie this year. I'm going to go ahead and say I think that's going to be the case because none of the receivers are that high. I don't think any of the defensive players are going to be that high, so the only people who could maybe go over him would be like Bryce Bryce Young or CJ Stroud, and I don't think that's going to happen either. So I think that's your highest rated rookie. You got Cam Akers and DeAndre Swift also at an 81. I do think Swift is better than this,
I
but we might
put
just have to
Swift
kind of prove
ahead
it
of
this year. He's kind
Akers.
of been an on and off guy a little bit, but I think he's super talented. Devin Singletary, Elijah Mitchell, Isaiah Pacheco at an 80. Also,
Mitchell
Ramondre
should be
Stevenson. I do
higher.
think Isaiah
What?
Pacheco could be a
I'm
little
putting
higher.
Mitchell
Honestly,
over
he really
Singletary.
surprised me
Singletary,
last
my
year.
boy.
Then we got
If
Brian
y'all
Robinson
know
and Damien
anything
Harris
about
at
my channel,
79. We also got
he
Raheem
was the
Mostert
go-to
and
with
Rashad
the
Penny at
Buffalo Bills
79. And
franchise
Raheem
mode.
Mostert is the fastest running back in the league once again. Then we've got A.J. Dillon, J.K. Dobbins, Jerick
They put
McKinnon,
Mustard at
Samani
79?
P. and Tyler Algier all at a 78. And then we've got
I ain't gonna lie,
Antonio Gibson,
I put
Deontay
AJ
Forbes,
Dillon
and Gus
at
Edwards at
79.
77.
That
And I know some
dude
people
is
are
a
probably
unit.
wondering about the other first round running back, Jahmyr Gibbs. He's actually coming in at a 74. And really quickly, I just want to say thank you guys for 500K subscribers. We finally hit it. I couldn't do it without you guys. And if you've made it
Shout out
this
to
far
him,
in the
man.
video, I mean, you're
Always
already
keeping
pretty
up,
much a part of the family
always with the
anyway. So if you're
Madden
not subbed,
updates.
you might as well just go ahead
Just
and
all
sub if
that.
you're interested in Madden and other football gaming content. I would love to hit 1 million one day, and I do need your guys' help to get there. It would be greatly appreciated. So now we're going to take a look at the front seven, guys, but it's a little complicated the way EA does positions still because they do right in, left in, defensive tackle, left outside linebacker, right outside linebacker, but some of those guys are interior guys, some of the linebackers are edge rushers, and some are stand-up guys. So this is mostly going to be guys that kind of rush the pass or play on the line, but you might
Why
have
is
some guys
TJ
in here that
Watt so
don't, so it kind of
low?
confuses it. They really need to change the terminology because it's just past due at this
Nah,
point.
they
But
did
honestly,
TJ
Aaron
Watt
Donald is still a
dirty.
99. He didn't have as good of a season as he normally has last year, and he missed some games, but he still was like his pass rush win
Y'all
rate was
put
still super
y'all
high. He
put
still had a lot of
Dexter
pressures.
Lawrence
If I had
ahead
to
of
add
him?
Aaron Donald, like a typical Aaron Donald
Oh,
year,
my
which would
fault.
be like him being a
I was looking at the
100%
list.
overall, and
The
actually I
overalls,
love him,
they're
he's
all
still a 99
94.
type player.
I
He's
put
just that
TJ.
good.
I
Then
gotta
you've
put
got
TJ
Myles
95,
Garrett and Nick
96.
Bosa at a 98. I could see the argument for Nick Bosa at 99 because he was Defensive Player of the Year. I think he's going to get it 100%. He'll get it this year if he doesn't get hurt. Myles Garrett had been a 99 the past couple years, so he's dropped down a little bit. I think Nick Bosa will be one of the first guys this year in a roster update to go to 99 because he probably is right now. Him and Michael Parsons and Myles Garrett, I mean, they're all very close, but those are the best edge rushers in the league. And you still have TJ
Oh yeah,
Watt as well. Obviously,
100%.
TJ Watt's still right in that conversation as well. Speaking of some of those guys, Michael Parsons at a 97 is fair. I think you can
I'm
argue
not
he's
mad
the
about
best
that.
just because he's like the most versatile. Like he can definitely play in coverage a little bit as well, like better than some of these other guys. So I think all around he's probably
He
the
can
best.
play in
But the
coverage,
97
but
is
it
fine.
I
Chris
don't
Jones
know.
at a 96. I mean, he outside of Aaron Donald, he's like the next best interior defensive
Yeah,
lineman. So that's
yeah.
fine. You could argue he should be higher, but Dexter Lawrence is kind of creeping up as well at a 94. I think that's about right. But Dexter Lawrence, really, really good.
Dexter
player.
Lawrence had a really good season too. No disrespect to him.
Easy to use, very secure. Best of
Max Crosby and TJ Watt coming in at 94. Two good guys. I think TJ should be higher. He's always been like underrated in the game. I mean, I think he should be like at least like 96, 97 personally. Then you
See,
got
like I
Von
said,
Miller at
96,
94. Like, for me, I
97.
think at this point of Von Miller's career, I do think TJ Watt and Max Crosby are just better edge rushers. I mean, 100%. So I would say Von Miller should come
That's
down a little
true.
bit.
Von Miller
TJ,
though,
I think Max Crosby
he
probably
changes
stays where he
life
is, but TJ
for
Watt should
everybody
probably
on the
bump up.
team.
Then you've got
That's the thing
Cameron
about
Hayward
Von Miller
at
that's
a
so underrated.
93. He's another one of the better still interior guys. Then you've got Quentin Williams at a 93. Just signed a new contract. He's definitely like in that conversation. He's climbing up. I think that's about the right
I like
number for
that.
him. Jonathan Allen.
I like
He's
that
kinda
for
right there
Quentin
with
Williams.
Jonathan Allen, so I think that's right. Joey Bosa still a 91. I saw some people have issue with this, saying he's still too high. I think he probably still has been missing some games. I can't remember, but he's a really solid versus run and pass. Obviously, much better as a
My
pass
boy
rusher. He's solid in both.
Joey
I think he's still
Bosa.
a 90 plus guy for sure. He's really good, but he has
Yeah,
a lot of
90,
fluke
91.
sometimes. Then you've got
I'm not mad
veteran
about that.
Haason Reddick at a 90. I've seen people say that Reddick should be higher. I think I agree. He could bump up a few points because last 2 years he's been really, really good. And last year he tore it up. You got Jeffrey Simmons and Matthew Judon at an 89. Matt Milano,
Putting Judon
Rashawn Gary,
ahead of
also
Simmons.
Vita Vea at 88. So Vita Vea, he might be a little low as well. But these other guys, I think that's about right. You've got Brian Burns, Cameron Jordan, DJ Reader, Daniil Hunter, and Trey Hendrickson all at 87. The one guy here I would say could bump up would be Brian Burns for sure. But I think
Or
everybody
Trey
else,
Henderson,
another Saints
bro.
fan,
Trey
Cam
Henderson,
Jordan's
bro.
he's not as good as he used to be.
If
He's
y'all
like,
don't know
he's
who
getting
this
old,
is,
so like
look
87
him
is
up.
still
This
really
dude,
good. And I think it's fair. Even Trey Hendrickson, man, a guy I think he's usually underrated. You can maybe bump him up
Very
too.
underrated.
You've got Christian Wilkins at 86, DeForest Buckner at 86, Dre Greenlaw at an 86, Grady Jarrett at an 86, and Kenny Clark. Kenny Clark might be a little low, but nothing too crazy here. You've got Shaquille Leonard, also known as, or formerly known as Darius Leonard, also at 86. Calais Campbell, still at 85. Old guy, but still a really solid player. Chase Young and Grover Stewart, Josh Allen, the pass rusher, Khalil Mack, and Zadarius Smith, all also at an 85, which I think that's about right for those guys. Like, Khalil Mack's not the dominant guy he used to be. Then you've got Derek Brown. He's like an interior guy. He's definitely starting to kind of creep his way up a little bit. Young guy. Same with Gregory Rousseau, except he's an edge. He's starting to creep up too. These are like two of the younger guys. I think they were in the same draft class a couple years ago, so they're starting to kind of climb up. And then you've got Javon Hargrave at an 84 as well. You've got Josh Sweat and Logan Wilson also at an 84. Deron Payne, Jalen Phillips.
They doing my
John
boy
Franklin
Logan Wilson
Myers,
dirty.
Michael Pierce, Randy
Well, him
Gregory,
and Josh
also at
Sweat,
83.
they both
Don't really have
underrated in
too
my
much
opinion.
problem with those guys right there. And then you've got Alex Highsmith, Eric Armstead, Chandler Jones at an 82. Chandler
Why is
Jones definitely-
Armstead
he's
so
been like 90
low?
plus for years, but last year he definitely took a
Bro,
big
I'm
step
putting
back last
Armstead
year.
like at least
82 feels
83,
like maybe a little
84.
too low. Like, I still think he's solid, like more like 84, 85, but he definitely is not what he used to be a few years ago. And we got Leonard Williams, Montez Sweat, and TJ Edwards also at an 82. I would say, I think all three of those guys could bump up a couple points personally. Aiden Hutchinson at 81 feels a little low as well. I feel like he was really good as a
Oh
rookie.
yeah,
You've
that
got,
definitely feels a
Wise
little low.
Jr.,
That's gotta be an
Daniel
83,
Archery,
84.
Perryman, Ed Oliver, Fletcher Cox, Harold Landry also at 81. Fletcher Cox, man, he was so dominant
Fletcher
for a while.
Cox
Not
gotta be
quite
like
the
an
guy he used to be.
82.
We'll see what he does this year.
I ain't gonna lie, I'll
Then to
put him
kinda
Fletcher
finish
Cox
this
at
off here, we've
82
got
in my
Josh
opinion.
Uche at 81, BJ Hill, Brandon Graham, another guy that's just getting old, Carl Lawson, can't stay on the field, Dalvin Tomlinson, and Kayvon Thibodeau, also Shaquille Barrett, all those guys come in at an 80. Shaquille Barrett, I don't know, I don't remember how he did last year, so maybe this isn't too low, but it feels low based on where he's normally rated. Carl Lawson, I think, is probably better than this, but he's just never on the field. And then you got Bradley Chubb,
Did
Emmanuel
Shaquille
Ogbah.
get
Then
hurt?
we've got Bradley Chubb, Emmanuel
Or was
Ogbah,
that
we got Frankie
what's
from
the
the
name?
Panthers
I
here.
could be
Don't know how
wrong.
to say his
I think
last
he had
name.
got
He's
hurt
really
if I'm not
big, so,
mistaken.
you know, it's just, it is what it is. But they're all at a 79. Bradley Chubb, it feels low, but I mean, he really has never like kind of lived up to the hype fully. Maybe a little too low, I don't know, but I wouldn't put him too much higher either. I'd put him at like 81 or 82 maybe. Now we're gonna look at the offensive tackles. Lane Johnson and Trent Williams coming in at 98. Trent Williams is not in the 99 club anymore, which is surprising. Lane Johnson, I think, is probably gonna get there for I think his first time later this year. He's just been
Yeah,
so
he
good.
definitely gonna get
Both
there.
those guys are liable to jump up to 99 at some point this year. Then you've got Laramie Tunzel at a 95, Andrew Thomas, Tristan Wirfs at a 92, which I think that's about right. Teron Armstead still a 91, David Bakhtiari and Ronnie Stanley at 90s, Ryan Ramczyk 89, Tyron Smith at an 89. I don't have too much of a problem with these. Like number wise, if you want to be like nitpicky, but I think kind of the order that most of these guys are in, a little biased. I think I would say maybe Ryan Ramczyk should be like a 90, but I think this is about right for who are the best tackles in the league right now. Maybe you could bump Andrew Thomas a little as well, but I think this is about right. Then you've got Jordan Mailata, Colton Miller at an 87, Brian O'Neill, Penei Sewell at an 86, Christian Darrisaw, Rashawn Slater at an 85, Taylor Moton at an 84, Orlando Brown, Taylor Decker, and Trent Brown at an 83. Then you've got Braden Smith, Charles Leno Jr., Jake Matthews, and Rob Havenstein at an 82. Deion Dawkins, Garrett Bowles, Lael Collins at an 81. Jack Conklin, Mike McGlinchey at an 80. And DJ Humphries at a 79. Now we're going to look at the guards, and we have our next 99 overall for the first time in his career, Zach Martin. I'm surprised it took this long because he's been far and away the best guard in the league for a while. He's always been like 97, 98 every year, religiously. And they finally, I guess, just gave him the nod. Like, he should have probably been a 99 years ago, to be honest, but he's finally there. Then we've got Chris Lindstrom at a 93, Joel Bitonio and Quentin Nelson at a 92, Joe Thuney at an 89. For this top five, I think, again, probably right.
I ain't got nothing wrong. Ain't nothing wrong about this one,
I feel
my
like Quentin
opinion.
Nelson is the second best, honestly. Chris Lindstrom's really good, though. I feel like Quentin Nelson's like a 95 type guy, but other than that, I mean, those are probably the best five right now. Then you've got Elton Jenkins at an 87, Wyatt Teller at an 86. Going to the next page here, Brandon Sheriff at an 83, Landon Dickerson and Trey Smith at an 82. Ben
I'm putting
Powers at
Landon
81,
Dickerson at
Alex
83.
Cappa, Austin Corbett at an 80. Also James Daniels at an 80. Elijah Vera Tucker, Laken Tomlinson, and Robert Hunt all at a 79. I feel like Elijah Vera Tucker is way better than that. That one's kind of surprising. I feel like, man, maybe I don't know ball. I feel like he's like a mid 80s guy, like at least like 84, 85, at least. I don't know. And then we've got centers, and we know Jason Kelsey is
Got
always
to
going to be. I mean, he's been the top
best
center
cen-
for a while
best
now, but 92
best
seems
center in
crazy
football
low.
for
Like the
quite
center
some time.
ratings are always pretty low. Though, as you can see, like
Close.
the first page of centers here, we're already into the 79s when you get to the bottom spot. Centers for some reason are just not. It doesn't feel like their ratings are weighted the same way as other offensive linemen, because Jason Kelsey is not saying 99, but like definitely 95 plus.
Wait,
Like
he's a
Reed Huntley at a
92?
90, I
Oh
would
no
probably put
way, he a
him somewhere between the
95.
two as well. But I think
95
it's just
easily.
something with the overall formula and how it affects centers, because they're
I don't
always
know
just
though,
so
but
much lower.
the
Then you've
center,
got
it's
Corey
always
Linsley
like
and
an
Frank Ragnow at
undervalued
88,
position, I
Ryan
feel
Jensen
like.
at 87.
It should be
Most
way
of, I
more
think, the
valued
top
than it
5
is.
guys are about right. I think David Andrews probably has a case, though. Like,
Ryan
he should be a
Jensen,
little
if he
higher
didn't
up, but
get
I don't
hurt,
care.
he
Like, he
would
has a
definitely have
case. He
been
could be around where Jensen is.
an
Connor Williams at
88.
an 80. I'll probably
Definitely would
bump
have
him
been
a little
88
bit. Ted
if he didn't
Karras
get
at an
hurt.
80. Tyler Lindenbaum at an 80. And then we have Cody Whitehair at a 79. Then we've got Eric McCoy at a 79 as well. Again, by a Saints fan, but he's always super underrated in this game. He's the 10th rated center in the game, which I'm fine with that. I think he's like a 7 to 10 type guy, but it's just 79 is just not really indicative of how he plays. But again, the center ratings are just so low. So like compared to other offensive linemen, this is probably more like a 84. Like, the centers are just rated so low. Mitch Morse is a 79 as well. Got Connor McGovern at a 77, Ryan Kelly at a 77, Garrett Bradbury 76. And yeah, I mean, these guys, like, they're just so low. It's like it almost feels like they suck, but they don't suck that bad. It's just the ratings are just super low for some reason with these guys.
I'm not gonna lie to you, it wasn't as disrespectful as I thought. I mean, a couple of them I didn't agree with, but overall, I think it was a solid list, and he went over like a lot more positions than just one, which I love that. I'm glad he showed the centers, showing love to the centers, man. I feel like they are one of the most undervalued positions in football, in my opinion. Well, hey, that boy Kelsey, he a dog. He different. The Eagles' offensive line from top to bottom, they could be top 10. Like, you can list all them and they can be in the top 10. That's how good their offensive line is. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous how good they is. But that's going to do it for me, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this reaction. Love every single one of you guys. I'll see you guys in the next one.